EOS Why Crypto Volume 3. It's a recession when your neighbor loses his job. It's a depression when you lose your own. Harry S. Truman. Yet another month goes by in the world of cryptocurrency, and as the crypto market suffers a significant pullback, it seems the market begins to separate the metaphorical wheat, aka legitimate projects that have staying power, from the weeds, aka crypto projects that are here today and gone tomorrow. Nowhere in crypto is that point more prevalent in the recent crypto collapse of Terra Luna. Hopefully they will be able to address many of the underlying issues going on with that project, if for no other reason than to compensate many of its investors that lost significant amounts of capital. The world of finance is quite literally like a metaphorical minefield, which is why doing one's own research is crucial to navigating potentially treacherous waters. As the United States economy begins to cool down after the massive amounts of printed-up stimulus money pumped into the economy, inflation concerns begin to rear its ugly head, causing the Fed to increase interest rates to try and stay in control of the economy. But as interest rates rise, market recession risk become the issue up today, which brings me to the focus of today's article. Is the global economy headed for a recession? In today's video we will be going over a recent article from the Washington Post I read called US may be barreling toward recession in next year, more experts say, and I will be giving you my opinion on what I think about this. Links to the original article will be in the description below. Okay, now let's get started.
Disclaimer: crypto investments are highly speculative and involve significant risk of loss. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Always do your own research and invest wisely.
To summarize and paraphrase, the article first begins with, banks and analysts are warning that the US economy could enter a recession next year as a sudden spell of pessimism pounds global markets, which on Thursday fell further from recent highs. Although the labor market and consumer spending remain strong, rising borrowing prices for consumers and businesses could force an abrupt retrenchment. The Fed has raised interest rates 0.75 percentage points so far this year, and officials say more hikes may be needed to calm the economy. Pandemic outbreak and Russia's invasion of Ukraine add to unease. The Dow Jones Industrial Average had its worst decline of the year the day before. After Wednesday's sell-off, the S&P 500 entered bear market territory, defined as a 20% decline from its previous top. Mark Zandi, chief economist of Moody's Analytics, said recession risks are high and rising. We need savvy Fed policymaking and luck to avoid a recession. Inflation-fighting nations increase global economic risk. This week, former Goldman Sachs CEO Lloyd Blankfein warned of a very, very high danger of recession. Wells Fargo CEO Charlie Scharf claimed the U.S. economy is headed for a downturn, and former Fed Chair Ben Bernanke warned of stagflation, a slowing economy mixed with high inflation. A sprinkling of data suggests to economic cooling, especially in interest rate-sensitive industries that are already suffering the Fed's commitment to maintain tightening monetary conditions. April home building slowed. Mortgage demand falls. Some of the country's major retailers reported dismal sales and profits this week due to increasing expenses and overstocked inventory difficulties, sparking a stock market meltdown. Target shares fell 26% on Wednesday after the company reported a 52% reduction in quarterly profits. Executives blamed cooling demand for TVs, kitchen appliances, and outdoor furniture. Inflation-fighting rate hike of 0.5 percentage point. We expected a post-stimulus downturn in these categories, but not this extent, Target CEO Brian Cornell said in an earnings call. When we chat to our guests, they express concerns about geopolitics and excessive inflation. Goldman Sachs lowered its second quarter U.S. economic growth prediction to 2.5%, citing rising pricing and supply chain disruptions. The economy dropped 1.4% in the first quarter of 2022 due to a trade imbalance and a drop in inventory purchases. 1.4% economic contraction in first quarter raises recession fears. International turbulence, including recession risks in Europe and China, dims the U.S. economic picture. A stronger US dollar, as rate hikes make dollar investments more appealing, might reduce exports, enhancing the odds of a technical recession in which the economy constricts for 2 quarters in a row. Some internet darlings, like Netflix and Peloton, have announced layoffs in recent weeks due to a souring economy and shifting consumer spending habits. Twitter and Meta have halted hiring, and Amazon leaders recently said the firm was overstaffed. National unemployment claims reached 218,000 last week, a 4-month high but near historic lows. Is inflation here to stay? Inflation raises gas and grocery prices. Experts explain inflation's causes and outlook. Sarah Hashimi/Hadley Green/Washington Post. Inflation is a significant concern for the economy and the Biden administration. Higher food, energy, and housing prices strain Americans' finances and obscure their economic outlook. This week, average gas prices topped $4.57 per gallon nationwide, an all-time record. The University of Michigan's Consumer Mood Index shows that Americans' assessments of their money and future prospects have decreased dramatically in the past year. Despite this, Americans continue to spend. Clothing, automobile, and furniture sales all rose in April, adding to a 0.9% increase in overall retail sales from a month earlier. Beth Ann Bovino, chief U.S. economist at S&P Global, thinks there's a 35% chance of recession in the next year. Businesses are hiring and consumers are spending. Challenges lie ahead. The Fed's efforts will slow the economy, but they may also topple the apple cart. Treasury Secretary Janet L. Yellen said Thursday she's sure the central bank can limit inflation without sparking a recession. She admitted that was unlikely. Possible soft landing. Skill and luck are needed. I hope so, but the economy is tough, Yellen told reporters in Germany about war and Russia sanctions. It's busy. Not easy. Yellen warns of stagflation from gas and food prices, even if the U.S. avoids a recession in the immediate term. Some economists think inflation, up 8.3% in the past year, and supply and demand mismatches generated by the pandemic and governmental responses might snowball into a more serious crisis later. Just my opinion, but anyone getting the feeling that they're starting to lose control? After reading this article, I get the distinct impression that we are in a metaphorical burning building, and all of the employees around us are telling the customers don't panic, everything is under control. For any of you listening now that don't have your financial affairs in order, I would highly recommend that you get that done as soon as possible. I have a feeling this ship is sinking, and they are not interested in letting us know how much water we're taking on. Often, it reveals more about an issue on the areas in which they leave out. Interesting how there was no mention of original inflation concerns caused by record levels of money printing, from stimulus checks as well as general government spending. But they seem to be blaming it on pandemic concerns, combined with the Russia-Ukraine invasion. Which makes no sense considering these issues were already in existence before Russia-Ukraine invasion issues. Furthermore, U.S. states most affected by the pandemic are those that completely shut down and have not fully reopened. To sum it up, most of this was caused by record money printing, which always comes back to the reason why cryptocurrency is so needed. Regardless of the ups and downs of this fledgling new industry, it does not overshadow the original use case of why cryptocurrency was invented in the first place, to give back the consumer control of their financial future, and in my opinion, cryptocurrencies like EOS currently do the most in leading the way of community-controlled initiatives. To all EOS holders, time tells the story.
Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, give us a thumbs up, and subscribe. Also, if you would like to read, listen to, or watch more of this kind of content, please visit us at www.cryptoapologetics.com. See you next time. Take care.